You're probably watching this video because you want to diversify your traffic sources for your e-commerce business. Perhaps Meta and Google ads aren't quite working for you, or maybe you're facing issues with ad account bans and things like that. I've made a couple of Pinterest ad videos in the past, so we're going to be doing an updated 2026 video today on how you should structure a successful Pinterest ads campaign. I'll be showing you one of my campaigns, exactly how it's structured, and some examples of ads that are clearly performing very well. Okay, I'm going to quickly jump over to one of my Shopify stores here. This is for one of my own businesses. One thing you want to make sure you have implemented with your Pinterest account is the Pinterest sales channel on Shopify, because this will allow you to import all of your products over to Pinterest. And even if you don't end up running catalog ads on Pinterest, you'll find that you'll start to get organic clicks from these catalog listings of your products on Pinterest. So it's free traffic, it takes a couple of minutes, and it's worth getting set up in the background. And then once it's done, you really don't have to do anything about it. So if you haven't got it installed, you can just go on the sales channel thing here on Shopify or the App Store, just download Pinterest. And if we hop over to it real quickly here, all you'll need to do is to essentially connect your Pinterest account with this sales channel. Everything will be automatically synced over to Pinterest. There's nothing else you need to do with this sales channel app on Shopify. It's just a way to make sure that your catalog is successfully imported over, and it may prompt you as well on this sales channel to sort out your Pinterest conversion tracking. Now, I've had mine manually coded into my website, which I would say is recommended, because Pinterest, if you've used it before, you'll know it likes to over-report massively and almost inflate the numbers and results you're seeing. So just before we do jump over to the Pinterest ad platform, I do just want to say that don't rely entirely on the Pinterest ad data that you see within the ads manager, because like I just said, it's so overly inflated and incredibly inaccurate. So if you've got Google Analytics, if you've got Triple Whale or any other third-party analytics platform, make sure you are able to track your Pinterest ad campaigns on those platforms by using things like UTM tags, because they will give you a much better idea on exactly how your Pinterest ads are performing. If you've not got any third-party apps synced in with your business, then you can always use some of the reports Shopify provide, such as sessions and sales by traffic refer source. So I am going to leave a link in the description down below if you want to work directly with me and me be your mentor. I also have a done for you Google Ads service. You can click the link at the top of the description, book a free call with me to see if your business is a good fit for me. And I do only work with a small number of people at a time, so make sure you check that out. If there's availability, if there is availability, I definitely recommend taking advantage. But anyway, let's jump over to Pinterest, and I've completely overhauled how I set things up on Pinterest. If you watched my last Pinterest video, you'll notice I had about 10 different campaigns running, but I've almost adopted the Meta Ads Andromeda strategy over to Pinterest. And the main reason for this is because Pinterest, you're not going to be spending as much as Meta Ads and Google Ads. You just simply aren't. There's simply not enough eyeballs on Pinterest in comparison to those two platforms. And I wanted a structure that is incredibly easy to manage and requires very little of my time to keep on top of. Other than setting things up and adding new ads every now and then, I perhaps spend 5 minutes within the Pinterest ad manager every single week. So what you see in front of me is my Pinterest ads dashboard. We have one campaign running. This is to the United States only. If we click through here, you can see I have got 5 active ad groups and 1 paused ad group. This one down here is paused because it simply wasn't performing very well at all. Now these results, they are only from the last 7 days, and it's only been a few weeks since I implemented this structure and changed things completely. So that is why I'm making this video now. So what you're seeing in front of you, we have 5 active ad groups. Every single ad group here is a unique product. So the way I like to look at it, you have 1 campaign per country, and then in the ad group section, you have 1 ad group per product, and then essentially an unlimited amount of ads within each ad group. So if we just click this top one here, you can see we jump into the ads, and there are currently only 2 active ads within this ad group. And the same if we jump over to this one here, you can see we have got 5 active ads in this ad group as well. So the best way to understand this is simply just look looking at this structure. It's so incredibly simple. Now, in terms of the ads I'm using on Pinterest, I obviously spend a lot of money on Meta ads, and I essentially make the most of that spend and use the data that's on that platform, and I simply just take the winning ads from Meta and move them over to Pinterest, with an exception. Now, with Pinterest, I can show you an example feed here. You notice that most of the content on this homepage feed on Pinterest is vertically aligned and is a 9:16 aspect ratio, which means it is a vertical image or video. Now, a lot of you running Meta ads will probably have either square pictures or square video ads, which is absolutely fine on Meta because you're not in a collage setting like this. You're not having to stand out amongst a million other videos and pictures. But if your winning ads over on Meta are square pictures or videos, you are going to want to repurpose them into vertical content simply to take up as much space as possible. Now, just on this page here, there is one video, one piece of content that is clearly standing out above the rest, and that is a sponsored post, which is a Pinterest ad, and it is clearly some sort of drop shipping product. But you can see amongst all of these other posts here, this is the one that stands out, and that's because it's a video, and that is because it's a vertical video, so it's taking up as much space as possible. And most organic content on Pinterest is static images, so if you can do your best to run as many video vertical ads as possible, that is going to give you the best chance of standing out. Now, if you're watching this and sort of saying to yourself, okay, but I don't have any winning Meta ads because I don't run ads on there, or my account is banned, you can go ahead and find competitors within your niche. They are most likely going to be on Pinterest. They're most likely going to be running ads. And all you need to do is just go over to their pages on Pinterest, see what type of content they're running, find some content on their Pinterest pages that perhaps has high engagement, and you can simply model your ads based on the content that you've seen on your competitors' pages, which will essentially just take the guesswork out of what content you should be making. If you can see inspiration and get inspiration from something else that is working within the niche you are operating in, it's going to save you a lot of time and money. So my point there is you don't need to panic if you haven't got any winning ads on other platforms, but that is just simply the way I have structured my campaigns to keep them simple and essentially just give it content that I know has worked in the past. Now, in terms of scaling, it's very simple. You can increase your budgets when you start to see good results, but like I said at the start, don't take the data too seriously within this ads manager because it's always incorrect. It's always so overinflated. So check Google Analytics, check your Shopify reporting, check Triple Whale to get a better idea if it's worth increasing your budgets or not. I'd just like to say that relying on Pinterest as your only marketing platform is probably a bad idea. I understand people try and pivot towards Pinterest if perhaps they've had issues with ad account bans and whatnot on Google and Facebook, but I simply use Pinterest to get more cold traffic onto my website, and then obviously remarketing on Google and Meta will eventually capture the traffic that starts from Pinterest. So they all work together. It's a good channel to have as part of your media mix. Even if you run it at a $10, $20 a day budget, it's good to have in the background because you'll get a very cheap cost per click. And essentially the goal here is just to get more eyeballs on your business and your products and then remarket them. Obviously on Pinterest as well, it will naturally do that, but you'll then start to remarket to the traffic you get from Pinterest over on these other platforms. Now, if you want an updated step-by-step guide on how to actually make a Pinterest account, or perhaps you want my help directly with this, please do use that link in the description to book a free call with me. If you can see availability in the calendar below, then definitely do take advantage. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.